I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, and this is Prescription for Your Transformation, real people, real conversations, and real success. And I'm always amazed by the incredible people that I get to meet on this platform and outside of this platform. And so I bring you the magic of their beauty, their insights, their intuition, their experience to you so that you can begin to learn from them and transform your life. It's all about us becoming more of what we want to be, what we need to be in alignment with our own soul. But without the help of these, what I call magical people, that I'm bringing to you so that you can learn how to do that for yourself. And so I'm really excited. I mean, this is my jam. I've been just talking to Casilda. She has an extensive experience into business basically by the age of 16. She's into sociology, behavior from social behavior, marketing. It's also about the sacred temple dance from India, an artist. I mean, she's multidimensional. And the most awesome part is that she is a healer, a spiritual healer, spiritual mentor for executives. So, all in all, an amazing shaman. Casilda, thank you so much for joining me today.
Wow, what a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much. I'm humbled and grateful. I've never been described that way. Thank you for that.
Well, it's so well deserved. And what's so exciting is, as I just met you today, learning from you as one of the pioneers leading the way for the rest of the world as to how is it that we get to tap into our own health and wellness. Because that's a key component to something that we all have been searching. But for years and years, we've just relied on our doctors or the medical system to lead that way. But you're doing some incredible things, and I'm going to get the opportunity to have you share that with us. But today, we're going to start off with a common theme that many people talk about. And I think oftentimes some people or many people kind of misinterpret. But love is the cure for everything. So, love to hear your insights about that and how you go about it. And I'll share some of my ideas as well.
Okay, yes, one of my favorite topics to discuss. Love really is the cure for everything. And to me, that realization saved my life. And I'm not joking when I say it literally saved my life. Because love is what birthed us. Love is what came out of the primordial peace, the stillness, the emptiness that we call consciousness. And love wanted to experience itself. So that's where the terminology, let there be light, or that light was the first part of the Genesis story. So for me, that love gave birth to light. And that light created everything. So light then really birthed me, you, the cosmos, all planetary systems, all solar systems, and every single aspect of this timeline dimension, what we experience is reality. Because it wanted to experience itself. And that is just the invitation for us to then go within into the essence of who we are and realize, well, if that's what I came from, how can I be anything but love? So ailments and inconsistencies, incongruencies within how we feel is when we have this illusion of separation from what we are, which is love. And that can lead to a host of other concerns, whether it be mental wellness, physical wellness, or even just feeling dissatisfied with life. So to me, if we can learn to just find a way to connect to the true essence of that energy, and it is just an energy, that frequency within you, you start to transform from within and vibrationally shift even potentially physical ailments. And but that takes specific skills, and that skills are already within you too, but you have to practice them.
It's interesting you say this because, I think, as you're talking, I'm getting this whole essence of what it is you're saying, and help me understand it, and check with me or let me know that I did understand it, because what I'm hearing you say in essence is that, well, our cultures have taught us a certain concept of what love is that really is a fabrication or structure of language and nothing more than that. When in reality, love, if we think of it this way, in reality, love is just in essence, it's an energy, it's a vibration, which is the genesis of all things. Like I said, let there be light. It is creation itself. And if we just begin to think of love in that context, rather than the social structures that are given to us, and then we can find our way back to that essence and
Yes,
feel
absolutely. The societal love that a lot of us call love is very conditional. And so the love that I'm speaking about is a very unconditional form of love.
Mhm.
And so society has told us we got to do this to be loved, X, Y, Z, a great job, look a certain way, speak a certain way, or social class, all kinds of things. And, there's all kinds of beautiful expressions of that too in society.
Right.
It's a spectrum. But and people on the spectrum where there's just a lot of light in that expression, they're usually fine. They're not, and they've transformed and learned that that's what love is. But there's people on that spectrum of coming into this realization of what this unconditional love within you. It's not something you have to work for.
Right.
It's not something you have to go figure out. It's already within you.
Right.
So it's letting go of all the stories, and all belief systems are just stories we've normalized. And this is where my sociology background comes in. It's what's the social structure, the narrative that we have all come to agree as a normalized behavior, norm and assumptions also,
Right.
to say that this is what love looks like. And I'm here to say that love, that's one way that love could look. But I'm going to invite you to look at love another way. And one where you really start to realize it's also very forgiving. Like you said, it's unconditional. There's nothing that love can't solve. So when you really come from that place of deep heart-centered knowing, that doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries, that you put up with any kind of abuse, because love knows if it doesn't feel like love, it'll move itself out of it.
Right.
See, so love doesn't mean you put up with toxic behavior. Unconditional love means you can treat me any way you want, I'm going to put up with it. No, love wants to be treated as love.
Mm-hmm.
That's the vibration. And that's the invitation, where sometimes it's misunderstood as, if I'm unconditionally loving, I put up with all kinds of nonsense. Nope, that's not love. Sometimes we're told that's what love is, that if you love me, you would blah, 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 like whatever that is.
So then again, following what you just shared, what I'm getting then is that, we can't have this experience through the normal narrative or the normal structure of what society has given us of what love is and its definition of that, but rather it's a behavior and its experience, it's a presence, if you will, to find the alignment with our soul, to find that energy in that space. And what I've been saying for a very long time, the work that I've done for myself, my journey in life and finding wholeness and harmony is I tell people, says, look, I think we all desire divine happiness. Well, the only way to get divine happiness is remove whatever makes you unhappy. Just, work that out. And it's the same thing for love. Remove whatever prevents you, right, from loving. So once you remove everything that prevents you from love, then all you have is love. And so said in a different way, that's sort of what you're saying, right?
Well, yeah, and what happiness, another way to look at that is love activated as joy. What's joy? Joy is happiness. Is love in action is happiness. So yes, that's one of the greatest frequencies of expression. So for me, it's like, well, that's why they say like the bliss, all your bliss, and the bliss is just even at an involved state of that, where
right,
there's just so much deep peace and stillness and joy and love and that emptiness, that stillness, all sort of blended together in harmony is that bliss, that joy, that happiness. So that alchemy is what many of us are seeking. And the way to it is to then okay, what feels like love, and then that love will lead you to take action, because feeling the love and then doing then amplifies it, right? So then you get into the state of joy, this vibration, and then you'll see, okay, what gives me joy? That when joy will give you a sense of purpose and excitement, something to really start to mobilize, to do something in whatever that is for you. And every one of our soul signatures is encoded with this joy, with this happiness, with this love. And when you are really tuning to that, life unfolds. Like, did I ever imagine that this would be my life today? No. I mean, as a child, I always told my mom, I'm going to change the world. So, and I don't know how this little kid, and she would ask me like, okay. And then I would tell her, yeah, I think I'm going to need my own plane. And she said, what? And she was like, okay. And in hindsight, I was like, I guess there's this part of me that kind of knew that, by the time the travel requirements might be what they are now. And I was 7 years old saying this. And I was like, Mom, I don't understand religion. And because I came from a multi-diffusion religious experience. And so I was like, even though I was raised Christian, my mom's side of the family was Hindu. And I'm realizing that my dad's side of the family may have been ancient Jews, like ancient, like going back 1,000, 2,000 years. And so it's like, some of this just doesn't make any sense. So that was an early seeker, I would say. And I guess what I was seeking was, how do I experience this? And I was like, none of this makes sense. And if there's one universal truth, it can't be this is just one way or this is just one way. I think all ways could lead to the same path. And I think I knew that as a child.
I love that. And so, and that's somewhat my, background too. And I just like to think you as a multidimensional person who then begins to appreciate, all the parts of life and alchemize it in a form that, we can actually understand and grasp and give it structure, because ultimately as social beings, for us to navigate the world, we need some structure. And unfortunately, a lot of the structures that we've gotten over time are misguided, not on purpose, but they just are. And so that's what's fun about this platform, is bringing to people your insights so that people can begin to acquire a new kind of structure for them. And so one of the things I know that you do is you've got these awesome immersion events, that 11-day immersion events. So tell us a little bit about that and how you help people then, get more in touch with love.
Yeah, thank you for that. Actually, the desire for that came out of my own corporate background and feeling a little helpless when I was going through my awakening and feeling like loving my career, but feeling like there's something wrong and I don't know what it is. So that it came, and then going now 8 years after, like leaving corporate and coming back, what I realized is I don't know anyone else who does this. So the 11-day immersions, it's called Soul Medicine Immersions.
Mm-hmm.
We bring together, and it's a screening process too. So it's not like you just get to show up at the retreat.
Right.
First, there's the sort of getting to know each other because I'm really looking for intention. What's your intention? Because the work is deep and intense. And are you ready for that? And it's really just the commitment. Mm-hmm. And then there's a month program, 3 weeks minimum leading up to it, where there's a whole priming the body to receive the work for the 11 days. So there's a detoxification of the organs and some physical exercise and some mental priming through some books. So, and you can listen to it and then just, physically working out at least 3 times a day, whether it's yoga, running, dancing, whatever gives you joy, doing that. And then you arrive at the retreat where there is a combination of multiple medicines. And these are ancient medicine. They are medicines, ancient medicine. So it'll be a combination of ayahuasca, wachuma, which is a really heart-opening medicine. Ayahuasca is DMT based. It puts you into a higher state of your natural DMT so that you can really connect to the subconscious. And it's a diagnostic tool, whereas the wachuma will really help with the integration of it. Mm. And then because you get to see it, but as a shaman, my third eye is open. I actually get to see your timeline. And I never talk about what I see, and I don't get shown everything, just as a healer what I need to see to guide you. And so that's and then we have multiple other integration, like the breath. The breath is one, and so this breath work, that's part of it. Sorry, just lost breath work. That's part of it, and it's a type of breath work that's holotropic breath work, but in the Vedic tradition we call it kapalabhati. So it's a breath of fire, and it alchemizes from within, and it's really useful for integration, vipassana meditation, but the form taught by Goenka, which is a very ancient one aligned to Gautama Buddha, Siddhartha, which is who we call as Buddha, the method he practiced, and a few other things that we do. And a lot of fun, like dance is going to be part of it, where, sensory deprivation through blindfolding, so that it really helps you connect to the essence of who you are, and sacred music and bhakti, devotional singing. So and these are all, and you can think, oh, it's just devotional singing, what is that? But we're actually working with the vagus nerve, and we are calming down the parasympathetic nervous system and opening the heart, because through the vocal cords, as a doctor, you would know this, how we can really work on relaxing the muscles and opening that heart gently. So all of it is, at the end of the day, we're allowing people to expand their heart space. But then what do you do with that when you have all this? We need to help you integrate that. And that's why it requires a minimum of 10 nights, 11 days to work you in a way. And then there's another month where I check in on people and just see how they're doing. So it's really like over a 2-month commitment, but it's 11-day in person.
I think that's wonderful. And I think that's something that all of us, need to begin to incorporate in our lives. It's basically finding that reset, from all the things that have essentially misguided us, because all of us, as I was sharing with myself this morning, it says we all know what we need to do, but we just don't do it because we get caught up in the whirlwind of life and technology and society and all these things. But deep down, as I like to put it, there's this dissonance within us. And unless we can find, people like yourself to do that reset, to get into alignment with, our planet or universe, with love, we're going to have a lot of challenges. So I'm super excited about what you're sharing with us today. And so how do people find you?
Yeah. Before I answer that, so what the essence of what that is heart, body, mind coherence. So that's really what that's about. So what I just described. So the point is to try to get you so coherent, aligned, so that it can start to re-alchemize within you. So you can reach out to me at casilda@casilda.love. And casilda.love is the new website. It's not fully ready yet, but you can go on there and you can really sign up for the mailing list and reach out to me from that as well. And for now, immediately to get a hold of me, because if you're interested in the retreat, please reach out through Instagram. And Instagram address handle is Casilda_Sol, SOL.
Awesome. Well, Casilda, thank you so much. You're a breath of fresh air that we all need to, inhale. Especially through the kind of breath work that you are sharing with us. So I want to thank you for today. And this is part 1 of a short series with Casilda about, everything can be cured. Love will cure everything. The other 2 that are really exciting that I'll be coming up is radical integrity. This is one really cool for me. And we'll talk about that next time. And then also the ancient healing modalities. I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, and this is Prescription for Your Transformation. Real people, real conversations, and real success. And we'll be back. Thank you. Thank you, Casilda.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Your Transformation. Continue the path towards discovering your own authentic genius by tuning in next time for more real conversations with real people.